We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhật thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát từ ly khổ đạc lạc, thức chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đàn Thổ Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tạc Đạc Tha Tô Ya Đà Ya A La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Thoa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jian wen zhe shou qi Yuan Jie Ru Lai Cheng Shi Yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master YongHua, O good monks and nuns and all good advisors of Emitofuo. Chư Phổ菩萨、精良大师、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, khẩn thưa Thánh Lương Đại sư Thượng Tiên Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 21st of April 2024. We're here in Wei Mountain Temple to discuss the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra, chapter about world rulers, describing these bigwigs who are running our worlds. It's not something that mankind is aware of, and this takes the Buddha's wisdom to be able to describe to us what really is happening. Okay, and it's a humbling experience for me, because you think with our education, our smart, we know everything. Actually, we don't. So this is the context. This is the verse describing the world rulers of the fourth desire heaven in our desire realm. So up there in space, up there, where there's a heaven called the fourth desire heaven that's suspended in the air, where the heavenly beings live. The palaces, their residences are suspended in the air, sustained by air, in this galaxy, the Milky Way is called one world. Okay, and the infinite number of galaxies in the universe. Okay, so what he's talking about here is a world ruler, meaning a ruler that rules over the heavens, the fourth desire heavens, and on many of these small worlds in our galaxies. Okay, we learn more about the structure later on in the sutra, hopefully, if we have time. At the rate we're going, I doubt it, that we have enough time to go through the entire sutra. Typically, the way the sutra is explained is that they read it for you. And that's a tremendous blessings already. We are different. We take our time revealing what's really going on behind the scenes for you. Okay, so it's two different approaches. You can do it on your own. You can simply take this sutra and read it. I did that 3 times. It's extremely difficult, let me tell you. Every day I would recite for about an hour. I was able to do it continuously about 3 times. The entire sutra in 3 times. And that creates incredible blessings for you. And here we take our time and explain, give you the insights of what the Buddha's really, what really these words, what he talked about, the Buddha talked about, really means. Okay, so this is the verse of one of the heavenly kings who describes his wisdom, what he sees, what he understands. And this is the role of the people who have wisdom. When you have wisdom, you're supposed to help others, okay, by sharing your wisdom. Because others are confused. That's why when you have wisdom, you share with them, you share your wisdom with them means that you shine your light, wisdom upon them, so that they can see better, okay, and clearer. So this particular heavenly king here, he says, a true teacher of all those in any world, meaning a true teacher is the Buddha of those in any world. A Buddha is a true teacher of anyone in any world in the universe, because that's his domain. He teaches everyone in the universe. He does not discriminate, okay? He manifests to rescue beings and bring them back. And how does he, what does he do? As a teacher, he appears in front of them in whatever form that's necessary to capture their attention and to connect with them. Okay? And the purpose is to rescue those beings from their sufferings, from their difficulties, from things that are way beyond them. Okay? And bring them back. Okay? And the next set, this is from the last time. Next set of verses, these are 4 lines of verses we explain. Bring them back to where? To a serene haven, universally revealed. Moon at the peak enters this in depth.
普世众生安乐处，风月于此能深入。
Okay, so here, the context is the Buddhas manifest everywhere in the universe, not just simply in our galaxy, but in all the galaxies in the universe when necessary, okay, to rescue living beings. And to bring them back to what? To a serene haven universally revealed, okay? And for our reference, I gave to you this explanation from Master YongHua, my Chinese teacher. This is how he would explain this verse. He says, what is the serene heaven, universally revealed? Universally revealed, okay, you can read this if you wish. This haven is universally revealed, meaning that he reveals this anywhere, and everywhere he goes. He does not discriminate. All right? He doesn't say, I like you better, therefore I reveal this to you. He says, wherever I go, when the conditions arise, when it's appropriate, I will reveal this to anyone who can benefit from this revelation. Okay? What is he revealing? A serene haven. Haven is a safe place. All right? So he reveals his haven in order to rescue living beings. Remember, the verse is that to rescue beings and bring them back to this serene haven. Okay? This safe place here where you are absolutely safe. No harm will come to you. Well, actually, it's not just this place of safety, also a place where it's serene. So far, so good? Any questions? No questions? Too early for them in K-land. Okay, how about you here? Still too full for you. Try after lunch. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. Apologies if I'm being a bit pedantic here, but does it mean that he's physically transporting you to a place, or he's bringing this place to you and you're now in that place? What's the logistics of this?
Good question. What do you think? What do the words mean?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind to me is I'm sitting here in the Buddha Hall and I feel transported to a place that's serene and safe.
Okay, if that works for you, that's what happens.
But I brought myself here, so I don't think that's what's being described here, right? This is, the Buddha brings this place to you? Or, oh, I see, sorry.
Revealed. Okay? In whatever, however needs to happen, it's revealed to you. Okay, he manifests. Don't say that you have to drive yourself here. The Buddha manifests himself in a form of Way Mountain Temple, where you know where you can go. Okay? And you think you're transporting yourself. Actually, it's your wife who pushed you to come here. Let's face it. Okay? All right. Now we all agree on this. We need to be grateful to our wives. He's revealing this serene haven. What does it mean? Yes, Andres. 7.
I was going to ask the same question Peter was going to ask, but it says it right there.
Right. Right where?
What kind of a place is that? It means a being without greed, anger, and delusion. That is comfort and bliss. You should bring it forth the mind of precept, samadhi, and wisdom.
Okay. So you buy this. So this is a place that's free from greed, anger, and delusion. So what kind of place is that?
It's inside yourself it's just you, true nature, without the greed, anger, delusion.
Couldn't that be the Way Mountain Temple? It's a trick. It's a trick question. Be careful. You're young, so I'm cautioning you.
I think
no pressure.
I think Way Mountain brings out that part. It reveals the same way the Buddha would reveal it. But nobody can...
It's still a but?
Yes. You could come to the temple and still be greedy and afflicted.
Okay. I give you a pass.
The place would be inside yourself.
Okay. Yes, in the back.
Hello.
Nine over here. Ladies first. Yeah.
Alo thầy, mô Phật con xin hỏi thầy khai thị cho con câu mà xong mời thầy thuyết pháp gì tu mà tham thời đầu là cái đó là tu phương pháp cái gì thầy?
Tham thời đầu.
Tham khởi đầu á.
Yeah.
Thành ra con muốn biết cái đó là tu kiểu gì mà kêu bà tên nó. Mô Phật thầy.
Master, can you please help review to us what does it mean in the Dharma talk that you talked about this morning, the Hua Tao? What kind of practice is that? Why does it call Hua Tao?
Okay. It is, according to the Asians, one of the more advanced Chan practice methodology. Okay, it's called, it's advanced, considered to be advanced by the Chinese. I happen not to think it's that advanced. Okay, I happen to know there's many more, much more powerful Dharma doors than that. That's why my master did not practice that. I don't practice it, because in our Weiyang Chan lineage, we have many more, much more powerful Dharma doors than the Hua Tao. That's why we don't bother teaching it. So, give an example of one of such method that applicable to you, since you wish to go to the Pure Land, is that you practice, you meditate, and you meditate on this topic: who's reciting the Buddha's name? That's a one Hua Tao method. So you sit there and say, who's reciting the Buddha's name? Because you recite the Buddha's name, right? So the Chan person would say, who's reciting the Buddha's name? So they investigate that. And by doing that, they eventually become enlightened. But most of them don't. Okay? Yeah. All right, where were we? Yes, in the back.
Oh, Master, I was going to say DTT will bring you peace and bliss.
What?
Dharma Treasury Temple up north is beautiful. It brings me peace and bliss.
Peace and bliss. Is that a haven?
To me, yes.
To you, yeah. Okay, that works, I guess. Anyone else? What is he talking about? What is this serene haven that they use, the Buddhas use to rescue all living beings? Remember? He rescues living beings, he teaches them, and then he rescues living beings and brings them back to this safe haven, this serene haven. It's not just a haven where you're safe, but it's actually serene as well. And that's how he rescues living beings. That's how you're saved. Yes, MJ, one.
Master, it occurred to me that the use of the word arrive, they can arrive at a place. It brought to mind arriving at the other shore, that's also a word that's used for crossing over into enlightenment. I was thinking that that's what this is about.
That's old technology. This is Avatamsaka technology. You're referring to Hinayana Mahayana technology. This is Mahayana technology, dear. This is why I'm asking you. Yes, it's crossing over the sea of suffering to arrive to the other shore of peace and bliss of Nirvana. That's Hinayana Mahayana in my book. Yes, 8.
Emitofuo, Master. I believe that haven is a place where there's no reference to self.
No reference. You see, let me elaborate for your sake. The typical Buddhists are taught that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are like a boat, where they come to our world and act like a boat where they can ferry people from this shore of suffering to the other shore of nirvana, peace and bliss, where you never suffer again. You only experience bliss. Not a bad deal, okay? Since they are doing the ferrying for us, yeah? That's what they do. This is what the Buddhists are taught. That's what MJ is referring to. Am I correct? Okay. Here, Avatamsaka technology, he says, a true teacher, we're not talking about the average teacher, the average monk and nun, the average scholar, but the true teacher, meaning the Buddha, of everyone, not just for the white or the black or the Hispanics, okay? For everyone. There's no discrimination. He's able to teach and care and help everyone without exception, without discrimination. What does he do? He manifests, so he comes to us. Manifest means he comes to us in various forms, okay? As a temple, as whatever is necessary to rescue us and bring us back to a serene haven that he reveals. Okay? So this gives you the details of what actually happens when they bring you from the shore of suffering to the shore of nirvana. This is what has happened. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. We have an answer from YouTube.
Yes.
And I would like to offer my sincere gratitude to our YouTube audience joining us from wherever they are in this Saha world. I hope our YouTube channel reveals itself
Amen.
as a place of comfort and bliss.
Yes.
Trin Sao answers.
Shinkao.
Trin Sao answers one word, Pure Land.
Pure Land. Very good. Okay? Pure Land is a haven. Yeah? That's correct. He's revealing a Pure Land. That's correct. Okay? He's revealing a Pure Land, Amitabha Buddha. So Shakyamuni Buddha came to our world and said, you know, guys, if you're tired of suffering, okay? You happen to be tired of suffering, or if you're not tired of suffering, we said, you know, can I have it better? I'm not suffering, but can I have much better than what I have right now? If that interests you. Okay? Then Amitabha Buddha Pure Land, over there to the west, is a serene haven, but also extremely wonderful for us to go to. Yes, absolutely. It's a Pure Land. So he reveals the Pure Land. That's how he rescues living beings. But is that all? How do you get there? Problem with the Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land is that you have to wait until you die before you can get there. That's only one drawback. is that you can't get there until you die. But it's nice to know that after death, we have something to look forward to. There's a serene haven, very adorned haven. It's very serene, where you can get there. And you never suffer. Not only will never suffer again, but you experience incredible bliss, meaning a lot more fantastic than anything you can experience here. So he revealed that to us. Again, only drawback, you got to die first. Okay? Yeah. Yes, DTT.
Master, can someone experience that through certain teaching?
Absolutely. That's the other option. If you said, I'm too busy now, okay? I don't have time to cultivate. I have to take care of my family. I have to get rich. I have to have fun. Okay, this is important to me. Then you can have the option of going to the Pure Land after you are dead. That's available to you, if you believe it. So he had to reveal it to us. Yes, as part of the landscape, as part of the solution. Is you're in a hurry? Like my late father, he says, I'm going to go to the Pure Land anyway, but what's a hurry? Let me go to the heavens and take a look around first, because no one ever taught him. If he were to ask me, I said, go to the Pure Land first and go to the heaven anytime. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point here is that you do. It's very, very nice to know that there's a safe haven, serene and extremely adorned, called the Western Bliss Pure Land, where we can go after we're done here. Okay? There's a way to go there. So it's great. So that's part of this teaching. But what about right now? Some of you might say, I don't want to wait. Okay? Do I have the option of going to the serene haven right now or not? Fair question, yeah? And so what's the answer? He has to go first.
Thank you, Master. I think you can have an option of going to the Pure Land like right now. That serene feeling is by enter samadhi.
Entering samadhi and going to the Pure Land right now? Are we talking about the Western Bliss Pure Land?
No, I don't think we can get there through enter samadhi to get to Western Bliss Pure Land, but to have the bliss feeling by enter samadhi.
You enter samadhi, honey. This is where you have to be careful. And let me spell it out for you. Just because you enter samadhi does not mean that you are in a serene haven. What proof do I have? I can explain to you in great details, but I simplify it for you. What proof do I have that is not a serene haven? Because as soon as you exit samadhi, it's no longer a serene haven. And you have no control over it. He has to go first.
Emitofuo Master, he revealed the serene heaven to us, which means that if we can follow his teaching, we can experience it.
Okay, you're getting closer. Let me put this way for you. He says, I can save you from all sufferings. Not only sufferings bring you to safety, haven, okay? But I also will bring you a place where you are much happier, much better off. Are you interested? Absolutely, yeah. Who isn't? I mean, I'm curious. Yeah? So that's what he does. He says, you can do better. Much better, as a matter of fact. Better in what sense? That you can be safer. You may be okay right now, but you know, with the way the economy is going, you could lose your job next month. Huh? All right. A few years ago, Tesla was flying. The Tesla stocks are flying up there in the stratosphere. Now it's sinking like a rock, and they're laying people off. All right? So it's no safety here in our Saha world, let's face it. No one is really safe forever. Where the safe, serene haven here is not dependent on others. Yes, go Forrest.
Hello. Yeah, I think it's probably the wrong answer because you just said not depend on others. I was going to say it's the triple jewel, the
Translation.
Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
Translation.
Simple enough, triple jewel. Okay. Nobody is there.
What? What?
Respectfully, Trin, would you mind repeating that one more time?
I was saying the triple jewel, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, is the safe haven.
It's not. There are good monks and bad monks. Even most good monks are not safe havens for you, havens for you, nor are they serene havens. DTT.
Hi, Master. Could this be referring to helping you recognize your self-nature, your true self?
That's the key. The word is to reveal. Hinayana Mahayana, they tell you that I put you on my back and carry you to safety. Yeah? And you like it. You say, as long as the Buddha does it for me, why not? Get the thrill of the ride on the Buddha's back. Huh? Wouldn't that be cool? But here, he's telling you actually the details on how that happens. He says, he's revealing that in order to rescue you, he manifests whatever he needs to manifest to help us out, bring us back to serene haven, okay? And how does he bring it back to serene haven? By revealing it. Meaning what? And this is, unless I explain it to you, you don't understand the meaning of these verses. He says that it's not him who brings you back to the serene haven. It's you who have to bring yourself to the serene haven by following his instructions. Am I making sense to you? Buddhas are not able to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. So what he does, okay, is in order to help us end our suffering and experience greater bliss, greater enjoyment out of life, the current life. It's not about future. We're talking about right now. How about being in America, we are impatient. We said, I want it now. Yeah? I don't want to wait until I die. This lady here says, I'm desperate. All I wish for is that I know I'm old and and I have bad knees and so as long as when I die I go to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, a serene haven, that's good enough for me. That's fine. Okay? But the Buddha says there's another option where actually you can get to serene haven right now. How do you do that? Where is this serene haven? Your Buddha nature. Yes, 7.
So is Pure Land like Buddha nature manifest as a place?
Yes. So that this is certain teaching, meaning that you can opt for the option of going for a serene haven by following the Buddha's teachings. You have to work for it, yeah, but it can be done right now. That's the message. And it happened before already to many people. And the proof is that moon at the peak have done it. This celestial king named Moon at the peak have entered this already. So he says, I've done it. Let me tell you, it can be done because I did it. It's such a powerful testimonial from a big wig, much bigger than we are. Yes, DTT.
Sure. I was wondering if I could ask my question from earlier this morning about Amitabha's Pure Land list.
Okay.
So my question was, you had talked a couple weeks ago during your lecture in Korea that Amitabha has a list that he goes after. So when you die, gets a notification somehow, maybe on his iPhone, that you've died, and then he comes and he gets you. So I guess my first question is how do people get on that list? And then those that don't believe in it, how do we help them get on the list?
Okay. Good question. We have plenty of time today. But I don't feel like talking about it. Why not? This is the Avatamsaka Sutra. if I talk about Pure Land, then what I'm going to talk about on Sunday Dharma talk, Sunday morning Dharma talks, Avatamsaka Sutra? No, seriously. Can we hold off? Can you hold on to that question, that thought, until the next Pure Land Assembly, so that we have more time to discuss it, and for people to ask questions? Okay? Because if I start discussing it, we won't have the chance to discuss the Avatamsaka Sutra today. Okay? Okay, thank you for your patience. Yes, JMT. Yeah, this guy is so obsessed with this getting on the list. Why is it, Jumi, you never asked such a question? Go ahead, Jumi.
맞어. 안 그래도 한국 시간이 보산사 같은 경우는 새벽 3시에 새벽 예보를 주말에 하기 때문에 정토 법문을 실시간으로 들을 수가 없어서 질문을 지금밖에 할 수가 없고요. 네, 한번 끊을게요.
Master, the morning, the Pure Land Dharma talk is 3 a.m. in Korea. So I'm sorry, I can't really ask those questions.
Why is it my problem? Get up at 3 a.m. if you really want to.
모닝 세레머니를 새벽 3시에 한다는 의미인데요.
Master, I meant that 3 a.m. morning ceremony starts.
Starts at 4 or 3?
주말에는
3시인가 4시인가?
주말에는 3시에 해요.
On the weekend, it's at 3 a.m.
그래서 지금 정토에 관한 질문을 지금밖에 할 수가 없어서 죄송하고요.
I'm sorry, this is the only chance that I could ask about Pure Land.
제가 오늘 질문 드리고 싶었던 건 뭐였냐면 정토가 사실 죽어서 확인될 수 있는 부분이면 빨리 죽는 방법밖에 없는데 정토로 빨리 간다는 의미는 그러면 결국에 좀 전에 말씀하신 대로 돈교로 그렇게 된다면 레벨이 낮거나 복이 없는 경우에는 정토를 가는 게 더 빨리 되지 않을까요? 돈교로 그 불성을 깨닫는 것보다 그걸 좀 질문드리고 싶었습니다.
So, Master, you mentioned about going to Pure Land after death. So that's one of the options if I want to go to the Pure Land. And if you're low level and you don't get to use the sudden teaching, isn't that the best way? Is just die right away and then go to Pure Land?
What does it have to do with Avatamsaka Sutra? And this lady is impossible. She's been with us for over 5 years now. And at first, true to most devout Korean Buddhists, she says, I'm a Son person or a Chan person. I don't want anything to do with Pure Land. Yeah? I'd rather die than go to the Pure Land. I practice Son. I'm a Son thing. This is our culture. This is our Buddhism. Now she's dead set on going to the Pure Land. So all we have to do is wait for a few more years and she changed her mind again. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay? Sometimes that's all I can do. I can't help. This is your karmic obstructions. So if you wish, you can have your honey husband get you a ticket and fly to the U.S. and attend our next Sunday morning Pure Land Dharma Assembly at DTT. How's that? As a third option. Okay? Yeah. Yes, sir. 5 in the back.
My maybe questions or confusions about Pure Land is this. My understanding of Pure Land is, like you say, from people who die and who do a lot of good deeds and less offense, they can go to Pure Land. But Pure Land is not, my understanding is its first level of some sort of heaven. It's not a Buddha world, because up there are many layers. So you preached yesterday on the Sixth Patriot. There's a lot of things you said yesterday, which I a little bit confused about. And I don't know. If I can go back to ask those questions. The soul or the spirits go to Pure Land are those people on the lowest level. And once you're there, you still have to cultivate to get to the next level and the next level to reach Buddhahood. So my understanding is Pure Land is just one manifestation that one of the Buddha created to help sentient beings. Is that correct?
It's 100% incorrect. Is it clear enough? I don't know where you learn about the sources of your Pure Land information. For all practical purposes, toss them in the garbage cans. Okay? It's all wrong. You're new with us, so give yourself time to understand more about this Pure Land. It's actually, we've been talking a lot about this over the years, bits and pieces here and there and so forth. And so therefore, it's not something you can understand or hope to understand in one lecture or 1 hour or 1 day or 1 month. Okay? Because certainly not 1 hour, certainly not 1 day, but why not 1 month? Because a month is not enough for you to penetrate the depth of the information. Okay? The information nature of Buddhist teaching is that we give you the information. Okay? And then, like it or not, a great part of it needs more time to mature for you to be able to really grasp it. Okay? It cannot be forced. And so therefore, it's not just Pure Land information, but also Chan information, meditation information, all sorts of information. It takes time. Okay? And more importantly, where you got the information really, really matters, because there's a lot of confusing information about Pure Land Buddhism out there. It's because the teachers are confused. Most teachers are confused, and they insist on teaching because it's popular. There's no standards that monks and nuns have to adhere to. For example, in the US, for you to teach Algebra 101, you need to have a PhD or at least a master's. Okay? There's certain standards of certification before you are qualified to teach. In Buddhism, there's no such a thing. And that's why most teachers teach it, because it's popular, because the students want to hear about it, not because the teachers are knowledgeable. This is a problem with Buddhism. That's life. Okay? So That's why a lot of information that's out there, especially on the internet, about Pure Land Buddhism is hogwash. It's junk. Dump it. That's all. That's why the premises, your questions are all wrong. That's how bad your source of information really is. Yes, DTT.
Emitofuo Master. So I have two questions. So this revealing thing, is this a G class special or can lower class do it too?
It's revealed to all sentient beings. Just because it's revealed doesn't mean that we can get it. Okay? That doesn't mean we can get it right away. Sometimes it needs to be revealed first, like I just explained as a gentleman here. Sometimes we have to talk to you about it, but we don't expect you to get it yet. It takes time before you can get it. Very much like here, in this slide 563, he reveals this serene haven to everyone, to everywhere. Doesn't mean that all of us will be able to get there. Certainly not Alex. Yes, Alex, what do you want?
Respectfully, Master, can we ask Moon at the Peak to help us see what he's talking about?
That's what he's saying. He says, I know, excuse my language, that you lowlifes don't understand. That's why me, a big shot, certified by our Buddha, can tell you that I've seen it. I've been there. So I certify that my Buddha's teaching is correct. He's not pulling your legs. This is why it's so important. Sometimes we need his disciples to tell us it's correct, it is okay, because I've seen it. Am I making sense? We don't get it, okay? But there's someone who's between us and the Buddha, someone who's not at the Buddha's level yet, who says, I've seen it. I know what he's talking about. So you can believe it, that such a thing, such serene haven, actually exists because I've been there. Believe. All right? That's the meaning of these verses. He's not the only one, by the way. There are countless celestial being kings who've been there. Not just this guy. There's so many of them. There's so many of the people who've been to the Pure Land who've seen it themselves already. That's reassuring for us to know that it's for real. They're too big to try to con us. Okay? We don't have a whole lot that they want from us at all. Nothing we have that they ever want. So that's why they said, for your sakes, for our sakes, they said, it's for real. This serene haven is for real. And I was there. I've been there. I can come and go as I please. What is that? My Buddha nature. Yes. Eight.
Master, once you arrive at Buddha nature, why is there coming and going? I know I'm thinking it wrong, but aren't you just there? Why would you be anywhere else?
Are you there yet?
No.
When you're there, you know.
Meaning,
You have the answer. Yes, 7.
I'm kind of just wondering about the nature of the structure of the universe according to Avatamsaka. So, in Buddhism, so we're in the desire realm and there's multiple different layers, right? Are those levels karmically linked with where we are right now? Or is it karmically different?
Okay. It's a fair question because this is the context of the Avatamsaka Sutra. I'll give you a glimpse. As far as the other previous question where he said, someone said, I have a lot of questions about yesterday's lecture. You feel free to ask them next week when we lecture on this 6th Patriarch Sutra again, okay? So that we have a chance to cover different types of materials, okay? And not get too stuck on one topic. It's not the way you think, okay? And it's because we're not there yet. But let me give you a glimpse of how of the big picture, okay? Where we are is called, this galaxy is called, the Milky Way galaxy is one world, one Buddha world, one Buddha land. So far, so good. It is humongous, this galaxy here, okay? It's big, yes? It has a lot of planets. All right? That's just one world. And with this one world here, we have a lot of desire realms, form realms, formless realms, and so forth. Many, many of them. So far, so good. So, for example, this moon at the peak here, he is a king in the desire heaven, in the desire heaven, but in the 4th desire heaven called the Tushita heavens, okay? He's a ruler there. I mean, he rules over all the heavens, the 4th desire heavens, Tushita heavens, in this galaxy. That's how big he is. He's not just ruling over one United States of America. He's ruling over all of them in this galaxy. This is how big he is. And what is this Milky Way in relation to the rest of the universe? One grain of sand. In the ocean. That's how big the universe is. Okay? Go ahead.
So I'm just kind of thinking about this in terms of like music or sound. Each note on a string has what's called overtones. So you pluck a string and then a tone, it creates a sound, and then it creates a sound above it. And they get progressively softer, more subtle, the higher the frequency. So you'll get a note, and then you'll get a note on top of it, and then a note on top of it, all the way up to infinity. So with those different octaves, I guess you could say, be considered like the heavens? Like, is there a direct link from where we are, or the lowest level, up to the highest level?
I fail to see the connection between the sounds, okay, the octaves. or the notes you call it, with the heavens. It's no relationship.
So there's no direct connection from what happens in this realm and what happens in the heaven realms. There's no karmic interlinking between them.
No, it's the. Of course, there is some connections because we are all within this Milky Way galaxy. Therefore, we have some commonalities, but that's only within this tiny, tiny thing called galaxy. It's mind-blowing.
So that other galaxies and universes would have different rules of physics and things like that?
No, yes, they have their own characteristics.
So
what characteristics? The characteristics as conceived by the Buddha who created that galaxy. Each galaxy is created by a Buddha.
So our understanding.
It's not a Big Bang theory as the scientists would like to believe it. It's
right.
baloney. Actually, each galaxy is a creation of a Buddha.
So
he says, this is my Buddha land. I'm going to use this to draw certain people to my Buddha land so that I can save them. I can watch over them and take care of them and guide them.
So,
and those who have distant relationships with me, who happen to be dispersed throughout the universe, then I go to them as well, because I still want to save them, because they don't have the conditions to come to my Buddha land. Therefore, I go to them and manifest accordingly to help them. But for those who have conditions with me, then I manifest this Saha world so that they can come to my world and I can watch over them.
Yeah, it's really mind-blowing because as people, humans, I mean, anything, we're stuck and our mind's stuck on these levels and rules of physical reality and physics. But you're basically saying that every other universe could have potentially very, very different rules and of reality, but the Buddha nature stays the same. So if we go to the Pure Land, time, for example, will be completely different. Matter would be completely different. The rules of the universe would be very, very, very different, right?
You're trying to understand it. You just use the word mind-blowing, inconceivable. There's no point in trying to understand it. When you get there, you know what it is. Let's take care of where we are right now. Make the best of it. Yeah? That's under our control. The rest is conjectures. Who cares? Even if you're right. What does it do for you except, some intellectual stimulation? Baloney.
I'd say that what's cool about that is that there's something there that stays the same through all of it.
Yeah? What is that?
The Buddha nature.
The Buddha nature is a common thread. And the Buddha nature of ours manifests in infinitely inconceivable ways. There's no way for us to understand or to try to understand is a waste of time. We can get there, we can have that kind of understanding when we get to the Buddha's level. In order to get there, we have to learn to maximize what we have right now. That's Buddhism. Buddhism is very practical. Let's make the best of what we have today. You don't have to wait. You want to wait? Yes, it's possible for you to wait. Go to the Pure Land. Okay? That's it. That Pure Land is serene haven that will be where you'll be saved forever. There's someone watching over you, very much like a mother watching over her child. That's the case. Okay? But the other option is the serene haven is attainable as testified by Moon at the Peak, Celestial King. He says, I follow Buddha's instructions, and he revealed this Buddha nature to me. It's truly a serene haven for all of us. He's been there, and he comes and goes as he pleases. Doesn't need to die. Okay? Any other questions? All right, next. 5634. My gosh. Inconceivable is the state of each Buddha pervading all Dharma realms.
诸佛境界不思议，一切法界皆周遍。
Okay. So next verse, next group of 4 verses stated by another celestial king that to reveal his insights, his wisdom. He says, I'm pretty close to the Buddha, state myself. I'm interpreting it for you. And I realize that the state of each Buddha here, because he's so close, he can see. You understand? These people, when they say something, because it's from their own experience. It's not, they imagined it. This is a matter of credibility, folks. They're not trying to sell. They're not trying to convince us at all. This is a gift. You don't have to believe me, he says, but from my perspective, from my vantage point, I'm so close to the Buddha that I see that each Buddha is inconceivable, meaning what? Even I cannot understand his state. Remember, I rule over the heavens of the galaxies. My domain is that humongous. Okay? That's my power. And yet, I still cannot see the state of the Buddha. Meaning what? Don't even try. There's no way to explain to you. You have to be there. Pervading all Dharma realms. Okay? And the Chinese have a teaching here that's good to know. This is the state of the Avatamsaka state, where it says it's so vast that nothing outside of it, so small that there's nothing not in, there's, it's so small that there's nothing inside of it. It's inconceivable. So far, so good. Okay, these are the concepts that helps us. Okay, the mind blowing that helps us relax and say, okay, it's not something I can conjure up intellectually. All right. They enter all dharmas and reach the other shore. Courageous wisdom sees us and rejoices.
入于诸法到彼岸，永会见此生欢喜。
Okay, commentary. They enter all dharmas and reach the other shore. Okay, they enter all dharmas and reach the other shore. The confusion here, I apologize. Dharmas here should be, it should be small capital D or small d. Either way is okay, I imagine. Okay, I suppose. Okay, so what it's saying here is that the Buddha state is inconceivable, and they are able to understand. Enter here meaning they are inside, meaning they are very familiar with. All dharmas, meaning all sorts of practices. It is said that the Buddha Dharma has 84,000 different practices, 84,000 Dharma doors, methods of practices. 84,000 refers to a lot. So many yet that you cannot keep track of. 84,000. All right? And so they're able to enter all dharmas. They're able to understand, to be familiar with all dharmas, all various forms of practices, whether it's Huatou, whether it's Pure Land, whether it's Tantras, whether it's Sutras, whether it's Avatamsaka Sutra, and so forth. All these different Dharma doors, the different methods of practices, they are very adept at, very fluent, very experienced, very knowledgeable. And they use all these Dharma doors not for the sake of intellectual pursuit, but actually very practical purposes to reach the other shore. Meaning that and courageous wisdom sees us and rejoices. He says that the Buddhas are able to comprehend all sorts of practices. Questions and comments? And this is why, yes, Alex.
Thank you, Master. I had a question about our mind, the nature of our mind. Is it like math, where it's just like this, everything is an equation, and there's like tons and tons of math books, but it's all just made up of like axioms that were created from nothing, and it's just a system that's built on imagination, and it's all, and we can build and build and build, but it doesn't mean anything.
Does it mean anything, and why do you ask?
Because you can study it for your whole life.
It's too much thinking. I don't know the Buddha state because I'm nowhere near it, okay? But I can talk about your state. Is that okay? Your state is too much thinking. You think too much. You try to understand like most intelligent people do. There's nothing wrong with trying to understand. Am I contradicting myself? It sounds like it, huh? Of course, we want to understand. That's natural. But the way you go about it is wrong. Does it help? No, it doesn't. See, you're still thinking. I rest my case. You say, let me think. What did you say again? Huh?
I just heard you're wrong. And I'm like, okay.
The reason that you won't be able to understand is because you're totally dependent on your thinking mind. You try to process, you try to understand with your thinking mind. He says, let me think, let me see if I get it. Or someone asked me earlier about music tones. I said, too much thinking. Okay? That's a problem you have. This is a problem with people in the world. They're trying to process things with their thinking mind. And we teach you chant, we teach you reciting Buddha's name. What for? We teach you mantras in order for you to stop thinking. Hua Tou is to help you stop thinking. Reciting Buddha's name to help you stop thinking. My lecturing to you is help you stop thinking. Yesterday's lecture, same thing, stop thinking. That's how you'll be able to enter all dharmas, because your thinking mind is limited. That's why we train you to stop thinking so that you unleash your inconceivable true mind. As long as you insist on using your thinking mind, your rational mind, to try to understand, you will never be able to. And it's not talk. I know all of you believe it, but you don't know how to stop relying on your thinking mind. Why not? Because you don't know how to stop your thinking mind. So we have to train you. Have to find ways to help you stop that thinking mind. That's all. That's the secret in Buddhism. There's no way for you to understand all this. So when we tell you it's inconceivable, and this lady sits there against the pillar and says, I don't get it. Why can't I get it? Instead of saying, I don't get it, I don't understand, okay? You simply say, I give up. I won't try to understand. I stop trying to understand. Then you have a chance. Am I making sense to you? Your problem is you keep on asking me, I give you more information, yes, but what about that? And what does that mean? The more information I give you, the more you process the new information, right? That's what happens to all of you. At some point in time, I said, stop. I'm not giving you any more information. Stop thinking about it. Yes, 5.
Master, what you say is really 100% true, and I believe all of us are doing that. However,
what does it sound like to you? No, too much thinking again.
No, I'm trying to clarify is that we have logical mind and we have spiritual minds. Okay, when you lecture to us, you give us instruction, you're teaching the Buddhism way. We are using our logical mind to process it. That's what we've been brought up with through education and what have you, right? So you want us to forget or not to use a logical mind and to use our spiritual mind? Then give us something to believe in, right? A lot of people who have no logical mind or don't use a logical mind, but they are strong, have strong conviction because they believe in something extremely, very strong spiritually. So maybe that's what I'm asking from you is give me, you said you've been to Pure Land, you've been traveling outside of the galaxy or within the galaxy, right? Give me something so I can believe with you 100%. And whatever you say, I will never process the information ever again logically.
It sounds reasonable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let him have it. Go ahead. It used to make sense to him totally, yeah? Okay, Anna.
I've been with Master for so many years already, and I came here with an arrogant mind, asking questions, and I never had I never had my fill with the information that Master was giving me, until one day he's been very patient now, but one day he says, stop it, and I mean, you just have many questions that. It's not conducive to learn anything from his teachings. So I stopped questioning, and yeah, I was hurt. But eventually I learned that I just needed to do whatever Master was telling us to do. You go meditate, follow a routine, and eventually your mind is gonna calm down, and that's how you're gonna find that naturally you're gonna be open to understand and not wanting to ask any more questions or just absorb whatever is taught.
He doesn't believe you. Thanks for trying. Next. There are a lot of us. Jimmy, be patient. There's a lot of them. Lots of celestial kings here and queens. Yes, 6.
Yeah, but so sometimes for me it happens sort of coincidentally, or like Master says, it just takes absorption. But I teach science, so one of the things that really deepen my belief is these connections that I see between what Master says and what I learn. So one of those things was, a while back, Master has mentioned that the first thought that came from emptiness is, I need more light. And so that was in my mind. And I just so happened to be teaching my students astronomy. And I don't know everything about astronomy, so they were teaching me as well. And one of them was doing a project on the Big Bang Theory. And it just so happened that they drew a map of how scientists believe the universe came to be. And guess what the first thing that came out of the Big Bang Theory is? Stars. So the connection between what Master said, that the first thought was, I need more light. And it also happens that scientists drew a map of the Big Bang Theory, and the first things that come out as stars is to light up and to make more light. That somehow connected in my mind, and it deepened my belief in Master, and then also in the Buddhist teachings. So sometimes it happens like that.
Doesn't help either. Next. Yeah, go ahead. 8.
My approach, Master, so I have the same problem.
No. How long have you been with us?
A year, basically a year now, Master.
It takes that long?
But recently, I've let a lot of that go. And one of the reasons for me, and you will correct me on this, is that I understand that I experience everything through my conscious mind. Nothing can be experienced beyond the conscious mind for me. But that's fundamentally deluded. Just false thoughts. False. If I try to process everything with my conscious mind, I can't understand the truth because it's false to begin with. And so for me, I just, in the past half year or so, try to let it go and just hopefully somewhere along the line, something will come out of it. At the same time, on a practical level, I found that in my work, when I try to decrease the amount of thinking, I'm able to work faster, longer, and to maintain a certain level of energy that I have never been able to do before. And what I do is very cognitively tasking. And usually after 2-3 hours, my brain shuts down. But now I can go on 4 or 5. And I'm not thinking because I think less and less and less and less. So I found on a practical level, trying not to think as much has given me more effectability to experience in the world and to do the things I want. Okay. I've just realized that by just letting go, I've been able to get so much more instead of trying so much.
That's right. Okay. Very good. That helps a little. Yes, Alex, the thinker.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I'm going to say if you're looking for miraculous responses, as long as you stick to this and do it with sincerity, you for sure will find them and you will experience them. But I think you'll find it very surprising how much it doesn't change you.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, 6.
Master, do you think like you ask for your own trouble when you have the question like, do you guys have question? Because I think that you open for people who have question. I think we should cut off Q&A section now. Sometimes I don't understand on your lecture.
You are so radical.
Sometimes I don't understand. Sometimes you at all what your lecture is, but I give up.
Sometimes?
Yeah, most of the time. So. But every time you say that, do you guys have question? I think that, do I should have question?
Okay, I will try to cut it back. Okay, anyone, any other questions? Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. I would only say that over the years of coming here, I think originally I was impressed by others who I felt were better than me here, and I wanted to learn what they had learned by coming here. And I found that just coming to the temple, listening to the lectures, try to follow what Master says, you slowly become what you've seen others more advanced than you have become. And it's inspiring, and it keeps me coming.
Okay. Let me dissect this thing. We're running out of time, folks. I wish we could get going. You see, this discussion here, there's this lady wants to cut off, which I find to be interesting. This is how I learn, honey. Because if you don't talk, I would not be able to know what's going on in your mind and your brains, what's important to you. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning about what matters to you. That's important to me. Okay? Here's his problem. His problem is, he says, I don't understand. I like to believe you, but I don't believe you. Which I feel insulted. I don't know about you. It's kind of insulting. Okay? I don't believe you, so you better give me something I can believe. So my first inclination is that, the heck with you. That's the truth. Okay? But that's not how it works. You see, it sounds logical, but actually it's very stupid. Let me explain to you. He says, I don't understand. His premise, I don't understand. I admit I don't understand. Okay? At least I believe that. I don't understand. I have 25 years over him in Buddhology. So yes, it's okay. It's okay to admit to me that he doesn't understand my Buddhism. Big deal, right? I mean, what's a big deal to him? But he says, but I need you to give me something that I can understand so that I can believe. But that's not how it works. It sounds logical, but actually it's a very stupid proposition. It's not how it works. You don't understand because, why is it he cannot understand? He cannot understand because, like this lady here, she says, doesn't make sense to me. She keeps on processing. That's why she cannot understand. If I give him anything at all, guess what happens? He'll process it. And it's a catch-22. He doesn't understand what I just said. He wants me to give him something else he can understand so that he can process it, so that he can understand, which will never happen as long as he tries to process it. Does it make sense? No, not to him. That's not how we train our people. The reason that he, after 1 year, experienced increase in energy and increase in productivity and less thinking is because of the process. He gave up, the key word he said, he gave up trying to think too much. That's all you have to do. Yes, when I ask you, do you have any questions? Is that process there? Is one of the reasons, very important reasons, is that it enables you, by asking questions, to think less. If you didn't ask questions like I had so many questions, I went crazy. I sat and meditated, and I said, wait a minute, what does this mean? And on and on and on. I got lost in meditation. In reciting Buddha's name, I got lost. I said, what does it mean? The more information I had, the more questions I would have. Whereas my question and answers are designed to help you stop thinking about it and reduce your thinking on other things as well. But I'd be glad to cut it off if you like, just for you. So how does it work? You don't understand what I'm talking about is because you try to process it, all right? It's natural for all of you to try to understand. That's us, okay? So I'm using that to train you. If I do it against your nature, it's not going to work. See, the proof is that when I told him, the new baby, that he had to stop thinking, he said, huh? I make a living thinking. I get rewarded by thinking. And you're telling me to stop thinking? That doesn't go very well with me. It doesn't work. So how do I do that? I do that by telling you to do things that will reduce your thinking. That's what he has experienced. That's all. And when you have, right now, you have, this is the truth. You have this humongous number of thoughts that cross through your head every single day. Yes or no? Huh? Humongous amount of thoughts that you have every day. If I find a way to help you reduce it, and reduce it, that's all I can do. If I give you anything else that makes you process more, I'm increasing it. Am I not? So the process is On the surface, like we are gabbing, we are joking around, so forth, but it's all designed to help you reduce your thinking. Number one. Okay? Number two, there must be a process that when you follow instructions, that will help you enter a state where you can undo a lot of thoughts. A state of stillness of the mind. That's called samadhi. That's Buddhist training. It's not knowledge. The knowledge is only an expedient. The real secret in Buddhism came to all of us, courtesy of great Master YongHua. He's the one that I read so many patriarchs, so many Buddhist teachers. He's the only one I found of recent history, okay, where he actually tells us what to do, the steps on what to do. If you do those things, it will reduce your thinking and will help you enter samadhi where you actually stop thinking for a while about certain things, which is darn good for you. Am I making sense? Does it sound familiar? Those of you who've been with us for some time, that's what happened to you. It's what you're learning on specific tasks, where when you do those things, will help you reduce your thoughts. Because there's too many of your thoughts right now to say to stop thinking to you is impossible. It's like when your hands so dirty, it takes many washes before they're back to a clean state. Yeah? Same thing. And that's Buddhist technology. Buddha did it himself. So he's just like us. He came to our world, was born and grew up and enjoyed himself like us. Okay? Went to work like us, got a family like us, have children like us, and so forth. And he understands what we go through. And by his own cultivation, he figured out how to stop thinking. So he taught us how to do it. And many of his disciples, like here, all these celestial kings certified it, gave testimonials to that effect. That's all. Am I making sense, Xin? Master XZ, do you understand what I'm talking about? Don't fall into the trap of these people who sound so reasonable, so intellectual, so logical. Actually, it's hogwash. Okay? And especially the old abbot, don't let them trick you into trying to explain more. We have plenty of techniques to help them reduce the thinking and then eventually stop thinking. For you newcomers, one thing only you need to know is that this process here will one day help you stop all your thoughts. All your thoughts, so that your head has zero thoughts. Right now, there's so many. One day, you have zero thoughts at will. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. In all the years I've been coming, I've never heard you explain it so simply, the process for reducing our thoughts. Well, I've experienced it, but I haven't heard it described so clearly, and I really appreciate that. From my perspective, I am content to endure all the very smart or very stupid questions that people need to ask to help them reduce their thoughts. So +1 for asking them.
So you're voting to keep the Q&A?
It's an election year, so I figure I want to put forward my democratic right to vote. If you'll accept it, I also defer to you as the Supreme Master. So whichever way we go.
Supreme Master. Thank you, man. No, actually, the more people come and they present us their perspectives, it's all reasonable. And so far, we never had such challenges. That's why I never had to address it. Okay, but we welcome the different perspective and suggestions, and help us explain more, elaborate more. Not only for your sakes, but also for my abbots and my sanghas, because one day they'll be sitting here themselves, and they can look at you and say, okay, this is where he's at, this is what I need to do for this guy and this gal and so forth, okay? It is, we're proud of our Weiyang lineage. We have a long history of training a lot of people from low level to extremely high level. This is our technology, Weiyang technology. Yes?
Master, before I let you go, can I please ask a meditation question?
Sure.
So yesterday,
if it requires a long answer, I'm going to say maybe next time.
That's fine. That's fair. Yesterday,
but you can ask.
I wasn't able to go here during your teaching because I had to go to get a root canal, where they drill out the nerves connected to my tooth.
Yes, I had one recently. Yes.
Oh wow. So I had that, and I did a crown, so like 3 hours of the procedure. So as I was sitting down and they're jamming all the needles into my mouth and everything, my mind was not nervous, but I felt my body was a little nervous. My breathing was a little shallow, not deep, and my hand didn't have the same level of control. And so I just started, to concentrate on my dantian and close my eyes and went into meditation. And then after a while, I still felt that my breathing was still shallow. I didn't have the same control. And then immediately I said, drop it. Drop everything. Drop the concept of fear, of nervousness, of breathing, of dantian. Drop everything. And in that moment, I was completely relaxed. For the rest of 3 hours, I felt so calm and relaxed. I felt I was like at the spa. People taking care of me. There's good music in the back. And it was, it's a great experience, to be honest. But I noticed something that was different. I didn't do this intentionally. Usually I'm focusing on my dantian, but in that time, I was just focused on more of my field of awareness. Like whatever came up, but I didn't focus on anything specifically. And I'm wondering, Master, is that advisable? Is that not good? Just so I can understand.
Okay. What were you taking?
They didn't tell me.
I'd like to know. We do have a close relationship with some dentists, so Is there one in Go Forest right now? Anyway, please ask your dentist, would you please?
Next time, I promise.
Oh, now? No, why next time? Is that a good thing to do? This is, it's funny you ask these questions because you guys are so demanding. You want to know everything. Yeah. And if you ask the other meditation teachers, what did they tell you? Oh, it's a good thing. Oh, it's a bad thing. And so forth. For me, it's fascinating because it's about how much can I tell you without causing problems, without making you think too much. Okay? And so let me give you a brief answer. You entered samadhi. Okay? This is where all the past years of training, all the trials and tribulations of following us, and nothing makes sense to you, and you question everything, and you wonder, well, what are these weird people doing? You know, how come the temple is so empty? And it's a big temple. Aren't they wasting space? I mean, all these things that go through your mind and say, what am I doing here? And why you keep on making fun of me? Trying to kick me out, you know, and discourage me from coming and so forth. All those questions, okay? So all those that transpired were part of your training to help you, prepare you to face such challenges that you can be at your best and rise to the occasion. Okay, so what happened in that dentist chair there, you naturally went back to your best and you entered samadhi, and that's why this samadhi here is enabled you to get rid of your fear and only follow the sensations. And we call it samadhi in motion. So that means that you are able to be at your highest level of samadhi, okay? That you train, that you're able to reach the past year or so through the training. And you're able to enter that while you are in movement, while you are in a dentist chair, while you are at work, while you are at the supermarket, while you are doing things, you still are able to enter that samadhi. That's what happened. So is it good or bad? First of all, to me, it's not it's too low to even bring it up. Kidding. But it happens naturally to all of us, not just you, to all of you. It's a natural process. That you're at your best. The most productive, the fastest, the most agile, the strongest. Okay? More than you normally are. Your best. And when you reach the next level, you'll be even better when you enter that state. The next level, even better. So imagine if you have to create in your work, you be more creative, okay? Eventually, you'll be able to develop the ability to enter this samadhi at will. So that when you have to produce, you enter the samadhi and work. And when you're done, exit samadhi and live a normal life. You become Superman, a super version of you. Okay? Super me. Instead of mini me, you become super me. That's Chan. Chan training. What it does for you. And so someone asked me some time back, I said, Master, you said, someone said, Master proclaimed that he went to Silicon Valley to train engineers and help them, help the economy of Northern California. I don't see anything. What you just described right there is what happens to all our students in Northern California, whether it's a nurse, whether it's a doctor, whether it's an engineer, whether it's a dentist, whether it's a therapist, that's what they do. That's what we all do. Me included. When I speak to you, speak Dharma to you, I do the same thing. I become mini-me. You become super me, I become mini-me. Okay? And then when we're done, I go back to my normal me. That's a skill. Does it make sense? Republicans in Gold Forest, don't give up. Keep it up, okay? You don't need to change parties. Okay, we stop here today. Thank you, everyone.